apology was okay. I would say it's kind of like in the category of some of the episodes from the first disc of season 9. Some of them, they're like, I get it, not the most standout episode to me, but it worked, in my opinion. A little strange, though, as Kramer pulled off a very, very strange one. This one kind of, like, deals with, like, germaphobes, people going through, like, you know, anger issues, and other types of emotions again. And also the strange comparison between good naked and bad naked. So the main story in the apology is that there's a friend of the group's. His name is Jason Stanky Hanky, wherever the heck he's known as. That they hear apparently is in AA rehab. He's going through like the 12 stages of alcohol rehab. And he is on step 9, where he does, you know, make amends and apologizes to people for some mistakes he may have caused. To which George is really looking forward to that, because apparently 12 years earlier, I think it was like a party or something like that, he made some comment to George that George can't use his cashmere sweater because he doesn't want his big neck and his big head to, you know, stretch it out. To the way he phrased it, I can more so see it as a concern. It's like, I don't know if you should wear that because it might be too big, but the way he may say it was like, well, you got a big head and a big neck, why don't I make you wear it? Like, it could come across as that, but I think also you could take it as, you know, he didn't think George would fit into it, and it's like, you know, like, would you put on, you know, like, a baby's, you know, shirt, which would not fit around your neck whatsoever, or whatnot. So, can somewhat see, you know, both angles from it. But of course, when Jason does come around to apologize to people, he doesn't apologize to George. George, of course, though, you know, confronts him about this, and of course, Jason claims there's nothing to be sorry for. George actually did go straight to Jason's supervisor, and when he said he'll bring him to a meeting, I thought that more so he was, you know, we all thought first that he was going to take him to, you know, make Jason apologize. But instead, he basically took him to like an anger management thing instead. Thinking George needs to, you know, get his anger checked out. Which is somewhat true, if you know what I mean. In the end, though, Jason started working at like an ice cream store, called George, and basically told him that, you know, I've been thinking you have every right to want an apology. So, there you go. You're welcome. But George didn't take Jason's apology as an actual apology. He wanted to actually hear, I'm sorry. Which then, of course, caused some customers to get on, you know, Jason. And Jason and George are arguing. And it led Jason to actually be sent to like an anger management class at the end of the episode, to where George, of course, walks past and sees that and basically just calls him out for it, basically. And, of course, the funny thing, too, the sweater they were mentioning was cashmere also. In other stories, though, that happened in this episode, there wasn't too much to say about the episode. Jerry was dating a beautiful blonde who liked to walk around his apartment naked. And, you know, he is turned on by it until she starts coughing, and when she's struggling to open up a jar of pickles, other muscles were, like, you know, exposing, and he basically realized there's a difference between good naked and bad naked. So then Jerry tries to, you know, get her back by him walking around naked, but apparently she was turned off by his hairy body. And then later talking to Elaine, she claims that a woman's body is much more of a figure of art. Men's really isn't. So then I guess Jerry and his girlfriend tried going back to, you know, just wearing clothes, but they couldn't talk to each other without thinking of the other naked. So they broke up because they couldn't really, you know, get past that. Now, Elaine's and Kramer's stories kind of do tie in at the end. Kramer's story is he's realizing that he takes long showers. He takes like hour-long showers. Everyone else takes like 10-minute showers. So he's wondering, what is he doing wrong? So he's literally throughout the whole episode going around getting other people's opinions as to what he can do, like pulling out a notebook and taking notes of what he can cut from his shower routine, which is crazy but a hilarious Kramer idea. I'll be honest. Probably my favorite story in this episode. He, of course, even takes notes from Jerry. He goes to like a health club to take notes too, which of course he gets punched in the face for, watching other people shower. Guys, of course, he watched them. And of course he put a stake on his eye, which is not him. But finally, he took a 27-minute shower, which that was improvement. But he still had a bunch of like shampoo and whatnot coming all over his body and coming down his clothes. So he finally gave that realized, hey, the shower's my place. So he basically started doing everything in the shower. So all he did was he spent time in the shower. And he basically started like making the shower his own little hangout. He made phone calls from there. And then, of course, he was doing other, things while in there. Until he realized that his drain was starting to get clogged up. So then, before we go further, let's talk about Elaine's story. So, remember Peggy, the person who was calling Elaine Susie? She returns in this episode, and Elaine realizes that she's a germaphobe. Even though there was one scene where she drank someone else's water bottle. Drank water from someone else's water bottle. But then, of course, Elaine gets tired of the fact that Peggy's a germaphobe. So she goes to her office and, rubs her keyboard on her butt, puts her stapler in her armpit, and coughs on her handle. Well, the next day, on her door. Next day, Peggy called in sick. And then Peterman is blaming Elaine for it. To which, of course, Elaine thinks is ridiculous. But, it's just a story and it's very fitting. But then we learned that Putty is a recovering germaphobe. He even has a necklace on it, which apparently has like a symbol of a germ on it. So he helps Elaine to be a little more, sympathetic towards Peggy with, being a germaphobe. And I guess he offers to help, take, Peggy to, where he went to help deal with him being a germophobic. Which would help Putty. Well, then, Kramer, meanwhile, realizes he has a clogged drain, calls Putty, since Putty's a mechanic, and asks for his help in installing a garbage disposal in his shower. To thank him, though, Kramer makes dinner for him, which Peggy and Elaine happen to be there too, so he made for them as well. Things are going well until Kramer reveals he made that meal in the shower. And that's what causes the three of them to go to Putty's germaphobe, thing. A seminar thing. So yeah. Okay episode. Not really too much to talk about. I get the stories they're going with, but, this wasn't the most standout thing to me. So it was decent. This episode is the first of two times whenever Jerry's bike was removed from hanging on the wall, which of course is when Melissa went riding around on his bike naked. But the other time was in the Frogger episode, which is still upcoming. Elaine's curly hair returned in this episode. The thing of George being told he has a big head is also kind of like a throwback to when Elaine was called Big Head by the bad breaker upper back in the Andrea Doria episode. But that's basically it. Not much to really say. Like I said, it's a decent episode, but not really the most talked about episode in my opinion. So it was decent. That's the apology episode, though, guys. What are your guys' thoughts on the apology episode? Do you agree that it's kind of like a meh episode? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure, as always, to slap a like on the video, subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well, at DemandAirboy93. The next episode, we will talk about the Festivus for the rest of us. That's right, the next episode, we talk about Festivus, as we learn about what Festivus is. So until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out, everybody.